a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. We just at about 7:26 a.m. this morning, and we have on with us Shelly-Ann John, manager of the Community Mediation Center within the Division of Health, Wellness, and Social Protection in the Tobago House of Assembly. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Julian, and thank you for having me.
All right, excellent. So as we get the conversation started, for those who just heard the introduction and wondering, what is or who is the Community Mediation Center? Let's get started there.
Okay, so the Community Mediation Center is a unit under the Division of Health, Wellness, and Social Protection, the THA. And what we do is offer mediation services. I know that there are persons who still don't know what mediation is. But Julian, I may ask you, have you ever used mediation?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
With a professional, or you did your own mediation?
With a professional.
With a professional.
Services offered through the workspace, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes. So you would be aware that mediation is used for persons who have a conflict or dispute who just cannot solve it on their own. And they need a third party, someone who is unbiased, who does not have a stake in the outcome, who understands the process and allow parties to share and give their information so that they can come to a win-win, hopefully, solution.
So that was my next question, trying to dive in. People hear mediation and sometimes they just think of it from a relationship specific to only a personal relationship. Your husband and wife have trouble and then you need to access mediation services.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is those services are available to a wider cross-section. It's not just limited to that.
No, it's not just for the families. We have several matters you can mediate. Mediation is for anybody because we know that conflict is inevitable and we always would have conflict. But a lot of us don't know how to resolve the conflict, and sometimes it escalates and it needs that intervention. So we have matters between neighbors. You may have a plum tree hanging over and it is creating problems for the neighbor, and you ask the neighbor to cut it and they're just not cutting. You can come to mediation for that. You don't need to go to the court. We have small claims where you take your vehicle to a mechanic, the work wasn't completed, you paid for it. Instead of going to the court, you can come to mediation. We have relationship issues, parent-child issues, workplace issues. So it's a host of different things that you can come to mediation for, and not necessarily relationship.
So in a case of the unit itself, is it exclusive to matters related to the Tobago House of Assembly in terms of mediation, or the services are offered widely, whether you work with or you do not work with the Tobago House of Assembly?
The service is for the entire Trinidad and Tobago public. As a matter of fact, approximately 75% of our cases come from the court. If you take a matter to the court and the court believes that this can be resolved through mediation, they would recommend mediation to the parties and forward the matter to us. Persons can just walk in because we have a lot of walk-in persons coming in. Staff members don't really use the service unless it's necessary. However, it's for the general public.
All right. Tell us a little bit about some of the initiatives of the unit. Let's say perhaps, over the years, one or two of the outstanding initiatives.
Well, I must boast about our parenting and co-parenting initiative, because yesterday, 43 persons, parents and co-parents, would have graduated from our workshops. So parenting, we all know that parenting is a difficult thing. And when you become a co-parent, it means that the relationship has ended and there are baggage that you are now carrying. And to navigate that and deal with the children and understand it is no longer about us, but it is in the best interest of the children, and teaching skills, those are the things that we do within the parenting and co-parenting workshop. So 43 persons, as I would have said, successfully completed. And those persons would have been persons who came from off the street, who felt that I needed this, or they may have been referred by the court, Children and Family Court, or by the Children's Authority.
All right, certainly. And that took place yesterday. That's including that's up at Speyside.
No,
Oh, that's
space side.
another
Yeah, that's
initiative.
another
Ah, tell us a little
initiative.
bit about that
All
because I
right.
saw the photos and I know we're going to have them coming up
Yes, that's
on
another
screen in a bit,
initiative.
engaging our students out of Speyside High. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Right. So today is September 21st, and September 21st is earmarked internationally as International Day of Peace or World Peace Day. This year, as our initiative, the theme is Actions for Peace. And what we would have done is that we went out to two schools, Signal Hill Secondary and Speyside, and we asked them to create a peace mural with the actions. Today, we would be unveiling that peace mural as a recognition of peace. Now, these areas would be used for resolving conflict, having healthy discussions. And what was really nice is that when we went to Signal Hill, we found out that they were actually building out a physical unit, which would be a conflict resolution unit. So for the entire school year, we'll be working with these two schools, teaching, managing emotion, conflict resolution, anger management.
So, for principals and teachers at the other schools, this is just the start. Depending
Yes.
on how this rolls out with these
Yeah.
two schools, we may see the potential follow up with other schools
With
who may
other
have that
schools.
interest.
Yeah. With other
Excellent.
schools.
I know you mentioned in terms of in recognition of Peace Day, but tell us, what is the history behind International Day of Peace?
International Day of Peace came about with the UN. So in September 30th it was, in 1981, they called a ceasefire for a ceasefire, a global ceasefire, in an attempt to recognize peace, to build peace, to resolve conflicts. And persons buy-in. By the next year, they started celebrating International Day of Peace on the third Tuesday of every September. And by 2001, it was declared that the 21st of September would be International Day of Peace. It is basically a call for recognition that we can coexist peacefully. And it's interesting that people could actually do a ceasefire. But
Yes.
I guess it's just one day. But if you can actually stop the fighting for one day, it means there is room for negotiation.
Certainly. I'd like you to tell us as well. I know you spoke to giving us an insight with Signal Hill and Speyside with regards to these projects. What was the energy like and the commitment and dedication from the students? Because sometimes there are initiatives that come to schools and teachers take that kind of push, and then there are initiatives where students get so involved, they want to do and they want to get to know more. What has your experience been engaging with the schools?
The two schools that were selected are schools that is art oriented. So I know the two art teachers personally. My daughter would have had experience with both of them. And when I thought of this idea, and I was last minute as usual, I knew that I could have contacted these two teachers. And they pulled it together. The students were excited because they like art. It's an expression for them. And they were excited. So we went to Signal Hill, and the staff tried a little painting, but I saw the end products, and I'm still looking for the part that I would have painted up in Speyside. But we have some photos also with our staff doing a little work with the school.
All right.
Yeah,
So let me get them to run those photos again. So you can probably walk us through very quickly before we head out to the break.
right.
So this is up at?
Speyside.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is Speyside, almost completed. This is Signal Hill. And if you notice at the top, there is an actual light. And then they created the lighthouse, signifying peace. And every picture have a dove.
And I see the lighthouse is in the school colors.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. This is almost completion. I have not seen what the end product looks as yet. But today we are doing the unveiling. Yes, this is the beginning of Speyside.
Right. And then you see the dove being symbolic of that peace within
Yes,
each
the
of the
dove.
drawings.
Yeah, the dove is a symbol of peace.
Ah, and I see that Sue they're very
Yes,
into.
yes. Oh, yes. And
Yes.
I'm there with him
Yes.
just bouncing a brush. Yeah, somewhere around that red area, I would have done some painting.
That spot.
Yes, on that spot, yes.
Because I know you're very hands-on as well. Yes, and
Yes,
I'm seeing some of the students here as well
yes,
with the that's students in the mix. I almost said with a teacher, but that's
yes,
students there
students in the
out of
mix, yeah,
Speyside.
excited. Their teacher is passionate about this, so once the teacher is passionate, you know what's gonna happen.
All right.
Yes,
And we just want to convey as well for persons who may, want to reach out and connect. And certainly, I'm seeing here on the live persons following. Hats off, Mrs. John, a great initiative. Good morning to the manager and hardworking staff of the mediation unit. So, really getting that kind of support. For persons who want to reach out, can connect. Where's the mediation unit located? And telephone contact, information to be able to reach out and connect with you.
okay. So we were located at Bagatelle, and many persons knew us there. But we have since moved this year. In November is going to be a year since we moved. We are now at number 5 Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. It's at the main building, the main divisions building where TRHA and all the other staff and units are. We are there. We have, under the Mediation Center, we also have therapeutic counselors. So it's one of the services that we offer, therapeutic counseling, and we have a hotline. So if someone is in crisis and if they believe that I need an intervention now or I need an intervention in the future, you can call that hotline. At that moment, we're going to do crisis intervention. And if we need to do a follow-up or do a referral to another therapist, we do that. And I would like to give that hotline number and have persons know that you can reach out at any time.
All right, so we'll chat a little bit more about that hotline, and some of the cases and so on and situations that you may treat with. But viewers, at this point, we're prepared to head on out to a break. Don't worry, stay tuned, stay connected. We'll be right back as we continue the discussion with the Community Mediation Unit. And certainly, we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Yes, viewers, as we continue our discussions in this segment, we are chatting with the manager of the Community Mediation Unit, that's within the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Mrs. Shelly-Ann John. Good morning. And as we continue the conversation, I want to let our viewers know this morning that there will be questions for callers to be able to send in your information, contact us in order to win prizes. And these are courtesy the Community Mediation Unit. And the number, let me tell you so that you can take note of it immediately. It's 284-6597. That's 284-6597. No, folks, you're not to call yet. It's when we get to that point in a few minutes, but I'm giving you the number in advance so that you'd be able to call in. Just as we ended the first portion of the interview, we were speaking about the hotline.
Yes.
And I'd like you to give us a little more details in terms of who or what type of situations are catered for that can call or can utilize the hotline.
Okay. So the hotline came about when we had COVID, and we had a lot of persons experiencing crisis and anxiety. We found that as we came back to this new normal, the hotline, it decreased, the calls decreased. At that time, it was a 24-hour. We have since changed, and it is now up to about between 4 and 6 you can call. However, persons can leave a message. So even if you don't have money on your phone, you can do a WhatsApp, you could leave a message and we'll call you back. What the hotline is for is anybody who think that I'm in an emotional state right now and I need to talk to someone. Sometimes you're going through stuff and you may have some suicidal thoughts, and we would have persons calling in with that. The therapists are well trained. They would do their intervention and determine the severity of that thought. Based on that, they would refer you immediately to go to the hospital, to go to A&E, and we will actually follow up with those clients And what we do, we create safety plans over the phone. And depending on the matter, we refer it, we do a referral, and we go based on the urgency of the matter. And that person is seen, they call in. We do online still, and we do in-person counseling.
All right. And I want you just so that person knows, so that's someone who may be experiencing that kind of challenge circumstance. So what about if I am in the company of someone? So, you're wrong friends, you're in a workspace, and you recognize that there's that constant apparent urge, things not going right for them. They think this is, this is it. You're seeing what might be potentials. Can you as an individual also take on that responsibility to try to, to engage and to use the same hotline to get the person to seek some attention?
Yes, you can, but you, however, have to speak to that person and encourage them. And you may be the contact. You may be that next of kin where we can use to encourage the person. And you may be a part of the safety plan for the person also. But yes, you can reach out to us, but you can't reach out to us and say, I have a colleague, call them, without telling the person. But if you ask your colleague, do you think you need counseling? How about if I reach out for you and share the information? If they call you or when they call you, would you accept? And if this person say yes, I would, then you can do it for them. Yeah?
All right. Excellent. So just remind persons about the number, the hotline number that they can reach out to.
All right. It's 683-8341. 683-8341. It is a cell phone, so you can send a text or a WhatsApp message.
All right. So, folks, you have the options available there. Please, let's ensure that we utilize in the circumstances. Further to that, I know that today, in addition to what's happening at Signal Hill and Speyside, that there will also be an initiative, additional stuff out of the Office of the Community Mediation Unit. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So today at 10, we have a ceremony, a short ceremony on the importance of peace. And we wanted to do this initiative we are in a very huge building, and it's a lot of units coming together. So what we would have created is a blank mural with the three logos, the THA, the Social Protection, and TRHA logo. And there is the UN stamp in the middle, Actions for Peace. We have that erected. Staff members going to come this morning, and we'll have different colors of acrylic paint. You put your hand in a paint of your choice, and you would stamp on that mural. We are hoping by the end of the day, we're going to have a full mural, and it's going to be so full that there would be hands on top of hands. It is saying that we are going to be a part of Action for Peace in creating a peaceful society in the workplace and on our island.
We certainly look forward to the display.
Yes, and you can come
done
at any time, and you can put your handprint there too.
All right, so that's the initiative happening today from
Yes.
10 a.m.
From 10
And that's
a.m.
at the main office there in Glen Road.
In Glen Road. And when we leave there, we head out to Speyside, where we do the unveiling of their mural. When we leave here this morning, we are going to Signal Hill to unveil also.
All right, certainly a full day of the happenings taking place here for the Community Mediation Unit. So we're getting ready to go into those questions for callers this morning. For those persons who may want to send in the responses, I'm not sure how we perhaps going to be gauging, and we indicating to persons that they can use the WhatsApp in terms of being more straightforward or easier for you in terms of making the connection. It's 284. Let me remind you of the numbers: 6597. That's 284-6597. Let me allow you to go ahead with what's the first question that we want to put out there for our viewers this morning.
Julian, I just want to put out there that no staff from the mediation unit can take part in this. All right? No staff, not the therapeutic counselors, not the mediators, no one. If you are a part of the division, you can take part, but not the mediation staff.
Not the mediation unit.
Yes, I
folks,
just needed to put that there.
Yes, so mediation unit, no, you do not qualify. And she's going to know. She's going to know. All right.
So we have some easy questions. And if persons were listening before, you have the answer. Our first very easy and simple question is, what day is Peace Day celebrated?
All right. So the first one is, what day is Peace Day celebrated? and I'm seeing, we're waiting for those responses. Once you submit, folks, we look forward to putting the information out. So the first question at hand is, what day is Peace Day celebrated? And we're looking forward to the response that will come for that. We want to go into the second question.
Okay. Which two schools participated in the mural?
All right, so that's a second question there in terms of the two schools that are participating in the mural, and that's happening this year. So, in fact, once they were listening to the interview,
Yes.
they should have the information. Now, I'm seeing a Sana Boucher, and she is responding to the first question, but that's on the live. So I'm not sure that we're accepting it. Are we accepting on the live to the technical team, or we are waiting for the WhatsApp to come in? All right. All right. So we're still waiting. So you got to also send it in via WhatsApp. That's 2846597. That's 2846597. All right. But we have got a SANA, that's SANNAHBOUCHET voucher, that's saying the 21st of September. Are we possibly going to give it there, or we definitely want it to come in on the WhatsApp?
I think we can give it there.
So we're going to
she's
start
on
there.
and she's paying attention.
Great.
Yes.
So that's it. So if you're on the live, or you connect with us via WhatsApp, wherever you're getting the information first. All right. So our first winner this morning, Sanat Boucher, and that's the 21st of September. Congratulations. You just won yourself a prize. Now, what we'll ask is just please send us your telephone contact via the inbox. So just inbox right now, Tobago Updates, not on the live, inbox Tobago Updates right now to send us your telephone contact so that we can pass it on to the mediation unit to connect with you in order that you'd be able to receive your prize. So we go on to the next question.
All right. So we had, is there anyone, the two schools? Which
Yes.
two schools?
Good. So that's a reminder to you. The second question, folks, which two schools participated in the mural? So you have the option to submit via WhatsApp. That's 2846597. Or you can send it straight on to the live right now. And I see we have, is there anyone submitting on the WhatsApp just yet? All right, I'm not seeing anything coming in on the WhatsApp, which therefore makes Rodney Pigott our next winner. And that's the second answer coming in there. Rodney Pigott indicating Speyside and Signal Hill. All right, we'll take that, or we need to see Speyside and the full name.
No, Rodney know what he's talking about, and we're gonna, congratulations, Rodney.
Certainly, congratulations, Rodney Pigott. With the response here, we're dealing with the high school out of Speyside and Signal Hill. Those are the two schools, most certainly. Congratulations, Rodney Pigott. At this point, immediately remember to send us an inbox. Inbox us your telephone contact, and we'll certainly pass it on to the mediation unit. We're asking you to do that now, to inbox us your telephone contact. So we have the mediation unit reach out to you in terms of collecting your prize. Third question this morning.
What is the theme for Peace Day 2023? What is the theme for Peace Day 2023?
All right, so what's the theme for Peace Day 2023? So while we await that response, very interesting feedback coming in here on the live as well. Students from primary school level ought to be socialized on the art of mediation. The ripple effect would be astounding. What are your thoughts on that?
This is interesting. There is something called peer mediation. And we ought to, Gandhi said, if we ought to teach real peace, we must begin with the children. If we can have the children emulating peace, then we can have a peaceful society. So I agree with this statement, and I know we need to do some work with the primary school students and with the teachers. And it is to teach them how to manage. We start with managing your emotions. And if we can start there, we teach you when you become angry, it is an emotion, but how do I manage my emotions? So it is something that is possible, it can happen, but we have to do some work. We have to have that mindset. Our mission at the Community Mediation Center, our objective and goal is to engender a culture of peace throughout our island.
All right, excellent. So we'll give the final three questions and let's see if the answers come in before we close this morning's interview. Otherwise, I'll just have to collect the prizes here for the staff of Tobago Updates. Go ahead with the final three questions.
What services does the Mediation Center offer? What services does the Mediation Center offer? If you can give at least 2 or 3 services, that would be fine.
All right. And we go on to the fifth question for today.
The fifth question, what is the address of the mediation office? What is the address of the mediation office?
All right, good. So we accepting the old address or only the new address?
No,
Seeing that some may be familiar.
We need that new address
New
because
address.
we need persons to know where to find us. It is critical on where we are right now because this is where mediation takes place. So you must know where we are.
All right.
Yep.
So, folks, the questions that are out there, the theme for Peace Day 2023. What is the theme for Peace Day 2023? The fourth question, what services does the Mediation Center offer? That's what services does the Mediation Center offer? And the fifth question, what's the address?
The address.
Yes.
Which I said earlier.
Yes. What's the address for the Mediation Center? She mentioned they were at one location over the years. And it's safe to say that was Bagatelle. So in case you're thinking of that answer, all right. So it's not they are giving you a little hint, but they have now moved to a new location. That's a central location with the entire division. So certainly we're looking forward to your answers there. But while we await those answers, I'd want to find out. Someone is asking here, are they disqualified because they used to work there, or is it good that they still remember, given that they were a past employee?
I would want to know this person's name.
So this is the Senna Boucher. I wonder if that's a real name. She's saying that she may be disqualified because she used to work at the mediation unit.
But Senna, the first question that she answered, I can give her that.
All right. So you're still going to be on the inside. You're still going to be on the inside. So send us your telephone contact. Inbox us your telephone contact. You're still going to get that #1 prize. I'm seeing an answer coming in here for #1 Montessori Drive, Scarborough. Is that accurate? #1 Montessori Drive, Scarborough. That's close.
It's very close.
It's very close. It's very close. So we got to go again. It's very close. All right. And I'm seeing a Wendy Wheeler Phillips indicating mediation and counseling as the services that are offered. Will we accept that? Mediation and counseling.
You know, it's interesting that Wendy's in Texas right now.
Ah.
And I know it's they are hour earlier, and she is there on the live and answering questions, but she just won a prize.
Certainly. Yes. Congratulations.
Yes, she just won.
Because we are connecting. We're connecting indeed around the region and the world at large, tuned into the Tobago Updates morning show. And I'm seeing a clearer indication here. 5 Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough.
That's the answer. #5 Montessori Drive.
And you see, it seems to be heavy tension here on the live between Rodney, Wendy, and Sinat this morning. All right, so it's 5 Montessori Drive, Glen Road, Scarborough. And that's the address. And we got the services, and the theme would have also been identified as the 2023 theme, Actions for Peace. Our ambition for and then they indicate global goals. Is that accurate, or it's still missing something?
Oh, if someone had just said actions for peace, I knew that they took it from me. But this person who went that extra mile, you got it online and you did a good research. Congratulations.
All right. Yes. So indeed, congratulations again. And in fact, that's Rodney Pigott again. Can they win twice, or somebody else has to submit?
Well, in an attempt to create peace and foster peace, one of his prize he'll have to give away.
Certainly. So Rodney, you're going to get it, but you have to make sure that you give away the other one to someone else in terms of sharing and fostering peace. So we have the combination there. We see Sinat with her submission, Rodney also with his submission, and Wendy in terms of the submission specific to the location this morning. We want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you making submissions there on the live for the prizes this morning. And just before we wrap up this interview, I want to get from you any other message. What would be the key message you would want to leave, particularly with the public coming out of the Community Mediation Unit, out of the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection?
You know, there is a saying, charity begins at home. In 1986, the UN inaugurated the Peace Bell. And every year, what they would do is ring that bell on International Day of Peace And what it means, it's a call for global peace. Maybe we need a bell in Trinidad and Tobago, but let's make it very simple. How about if we have bells in our homes? When we agree that if there is ever an argument that is getting out of hand between the adults or the children, one person should be mindful enough to understand that this is not how we do things in the family, and you ring that bell and have that signify this is a call for peace at home. So I'm encouraging you, Julien, to get a bell. There's some small, nice ones, and you have your family conference and you have that conversation of the purpose of the bell and what are our goals as a family. So when something gets out of hand, one person just pick this bell up and you ring that bell. And it means that this is a peaceful family and this is our action for peace. We have to do things differently.
And I feel like that's such a valid point because it makes that connection, and it reminds me sometimes how our children are those persons that remind us we are busy in conversation.
Yes, yes.
We're probably driving faster than we should on the road, and the child is the one giving us that reminder. Hey,
Yes.
you're going too speed. What are you all talking about there? That kind of thing. So certainly a very good reminder and an indication there as we continue to promote peace here. And you couldn't say it any better than to remind us it's got to start within our homes and with our families. And then certainly that transitions into our workplaces, our churches, wherever we gather as individuals. Just before we close, reminder of yours of contact information for the Community Mediation Unit.
The Community Mediation Unit can be contacted on 798-5805. 798-5805. That's our contact number.
All right. We want to say thank you very much there, Shelly-Ann, John, manager of the Community Mediation Center, for joining us here on set this morning at the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Viewers, once again, we want to thank you for choosing the Tobago Updates Morning Show. At this point, we're going to be heading on over to Tobago Notes. And we want to say see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, you head on into Friday. It's the final day of the week. And Ria would say, thank God it's Friday. So we're looking forward to tomorrow. We want to continue to thank you for choosing us, Tobago Updates Television. And for now, we say bye-bye. Take care.